Hi guys, I'm Shmi. Hello to you and welcome back to the channel where today you join me at Scuderia Graziani in Sydney, Australia. So I'm here visiting with Lee Kay from Supercar Advocates, and Lee's going to join me because today Scuderia Graziani have invited us to take a look around the showroom and pick one of their cars to take out for a test drive. There is clearly a lot to choose from: the Aventador SV, a 488, a 458 Speciale, Huracan Performante, McLaren 720S, 911 Turbo S at the very back. What will it be? Let's have a walk around and make a choice. Alrighty then, we are joined by Lee. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Well, how can you not be with all of this, right?
Yeah, so excited. So many cars.
So we've been for a drive in Lee's Carrera GT, but we've got to make a decision which car we would like to take out of everything in here. What jumps to you?
I'd say it's got to be a Lamborghini.
Fair. There's a good lineup of Lambos here, from the new Huracan Performante, of course. We've got two LP610 Huracans. The Aventador SV, I noticed, had a sold sign in the windscreen, so I don't think it'd be right to take out somebody's future car. 720S I drove quite recently. Awesome machine. You've got a 720S?
Yeah.
Epic machine.
Yeah.
Had. Okay, very quick, but what else do we have? The Ferraris, driven them both. You know, I think the thing for me that would be the most interesting is probably this fella.
The Huracan Performante.
Yeah, you happy for that?
Yeah, you know what? I think this, being as aggressive as it looks, is going to drive just as good as it looks.
Well, I've been out for a drive in one once before. I'm not going to lie, first outing, I wasn't completely blown away. I need another drive to experience a little bit more about it for sure. Just guys who are watching, let's take a quick walk around just to run over some of the details. I'm sure you know the Performante is the hardcore version of Lamborghini's baby supercar, the Huracan, the V10 car. It has the 5.2 litre naturally aspirated V10, which looks lovely in there actually. 650 horsepower, 600 Newton meters of torque. Very different design to the regular Huracan, so the fixed forged carbon rear wing at the back, all the carbon fibre around the exhaust. Those exhaust pipes are nuts.
Yeah, so big. They remind you of the Scuderia, where Lamborghini have now taken this to another level. They're so much bigger, they're just like cannons. And
I know from experience that it sounds very, very good. Naturally aspirated engine is just the complete way to go. The spec of this car in the satin metallic silver is quite similar to a car they secretly showed when they launched it. So at the Geneva Motor Show they launched it in a number of bright colours, but around the back they had one spec just like this with the tricolore stripe, the Italian flag along the side, and I think the car is open so we can have a quick look at the interior. Track spec. So this was one thing. These seats, I know before getting in them, are firm and pretty desperately uncomfortable, but it's a track car. That is, to be fair, what it's supposed to be about. 7-speed dual clutch gearbox, the full digital display that you can see, the virtual cockpit setup. It's a bit of a savage machine, and it has the Aerodynamica Lamborghini Attiva, if you can ever remember that. ALA, which is the airflow system for the aerodynamics, the way it can control air coming in on one side versus the other, and also around the wing. It's actually really cool back here at the wing. Do you know all about this?
yeah, of course. I'm learning more from you.
The little ducts you can see on the bottom of the wing, so the air comes up through the struts for the rear wing, and it's released to give a little bit more push on either side to help pivot the car around the corner a little bit more. Bits of information that you can learn about it. But yeah, I think we should jump in, get the car outside, experience what this is like, and take it out on the roads.
But I'm not going to be the driver, I'm going to sit here as a passenger.
Okay.
So Shmi, it's you that's driving.
Awesome. Well, there we go then. Thank you very much. Let's hop in, take it out, and see what the Performante is like here in Australia. Lee's just gone to move his Carrera GT out of the way, but that means I can get this car fired up. Let's lift the flap, because that's always the cool way to do it. Into life. So the Performante. It gives me the system ALA on the display. Gosh, it's odd being in a right-hand drive car so far away from home. You always just assume everywhere is left-hand drive. But into gear, we're in automatic, Strada mode, the standard driving mode naturally. And let us roll out of the showroom, where as you can see just in front, his Carrera GT needs to be moved slightly out of the way, and then we will be able to escape. So lift system up, obviously. There's a big ramp here, lots of big ramps getting out of driveways, I've noticed in Sydney. But as soon as the car is moved, we will be able to rock on out, and then he's going to bring his car in. Welcome. Of course, welcome to my car. My car for now, the Huracan Performante. Try and get comfortable, although you will struggle. The seats are desperately firm.
Oh wow, yeah, they remind me of the SV race track seat.
Proper race,
yeah.
Lamborghini style. I think you could probably go a touch back if you're struggling for space. So, here we are. I'm trying to work out how all the dashboards and displays work.
I don't have a clue.
Love it. Should we go?
Yeah, guide me. This is your review.
Well, is it a review? Is it a drive? It's a test drive. It's an experience. I think that's what it is. So welcome back to the car. But, yeah, indicators on the steering wheel. I actually nearly forgot that. So we're driving in automatic, gentle, comfortable mode. The thing about these cars, like modern cars, like not your Carrera GT or XG20 or those kind of things, is that they drive so normally if you want them to. You know, like this feels like it could be a VW Golf or something when you just drive it like this. It's calm,
so
the gearbox is smooth, the steering feel is completely light, it has their variable dynamic steering, the sound isn't particularly intrusive, but then, you know, you put it up in mode, I just like to pull both paddles to neutral for a second.
That sounds good. What about Corsa? Does it get even louder?
I think Sport is the most playful setting. You get the cool dashboard display in there though. You get the full, like, rev counter. But there's just, you know, a couple of revs, because obviously the engine needs a little bit of time to warm itself up. I like how it tells us we're in Corsa on the central screen.
It's nice.
The carbon fibre in here is nice.
This is the first time that I've sat in a Huracan Performante.
Okay.
Believe it or not, first time.
And now you're experiencing it straight away in Corsa with a brutally aggressive gearbox.
And
kind of
with an amazing driver. Let me add that.
Hey, well, we don't know about that yet.
Wow, that sounds.
It's just low in the rev range.
It's a lot louder than I thought.
Yeah, it is definitely on the loud end. So we're going straight into a tunnel.
Yeah.
Are we really getting it begun this way?
Windows down?
Lower the windows slightly. Which way is it? It's always backwards in a Lambo.
Oh.
The crazy thing is that's like 5,000 RPM. Yep, okay, get some points for sound. So I'm going to put it back in sport because I can feel the violence. It's pretty aggressive when you're driving in Corsa mode, there's no question about that. Oh yeah, put the windows back up.
Makes a Carrera GT sound so tame.
Well, these sounds now from engines, they're all almost pre-programmed a little bit for drama.
Yeah.
It's slightly artificial. It's the cracks, for example, aren't the organic engine noise that you had back in the era, even a decade ago, of CGTs, F40s, F50s, you name it like that. The noises you get out of the car are the real noises that the car makes.
Mechanically raw.
But obviously there are so many restrictions now about what can be done. It's
yeah, we've
legislation
spoken about
based.
the EPA laws and
What's possible restricts manufacturers big time, so they kind of engineer in a bit more dynamic styling, dynamic sounds from the vehicle. I'm losing my words here completely.
Making it all fancy.
Yeah, trying too hard clearly, for being a bit tired on the other side of the world. However, the weather is beautiful, and I think what I like about the car is that even just driving it gently like this, it's easy, right?
Yeah,
it's no stress, it's no struggle.
You've got no gearbox to worry about, so there's no lag in this new gearbox, is there?
No, it's instant. It shifts so.
What about takeoff? Does it hold the clutch?
It will do a launch control. I can't remember what Lamborghini call it. Is it race start, or they have a name for it?
I'm not sure. Yeah, it just takes off. I can clearly see it and feel it.
I'm feathering the throttle. The thing that's overshadowing everything to me is how firm it is. The seat is solid. I feel like I'm sitting on something that has no padding in it at all.
So can you option this with a comfort seat?
Yes, you can.
Oh, okay.
This is the normal hardcore seat. I think general-wise, the car is obviously stiffer than the regular Huracan. The ride is firmed up, the gearbox is sharpened, the ECU is reprogrammed, it has a bit more power and torque.
It's a little more aggressive.
Yeah.
I'd like to add this. for a 6'1" guy, I can easily sit in this car without my head touching the roof.
Which is actually quite unusual. I think that's only possible thanks to the bucket seats. I think if you have the normal seats, you'd struggle, because the Lamborghinis are normally quite small on the inside.
Yeah, I know with the Aventador, when I had my Aventador, the coupe version, my head would touch the roof.
Yeah, and the Roadster would be
so I'll be like slightly, yeah. That's why you need a Roadster, take the roof off.
Sounds okay, sounds okay.
Sounds brutal.
So far then, comfortable, nice. It's a brilliant poser car.
Yeah, it gets the attention,
Definitely gets a lot of attention.
Everybody loves looking at them.
Something about Lamborghini, just every car they create has the looks. It wins in that department.
Yeah, it's a flair.
It's quick, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's quick.
Instant power. That naturally aspirated style. Lots of crackles. Right, hold it in first gear. Turns in well.
Yeah, it grips.
The shifts are so ferociously quick. It's one of the best things is the gearbox. It's absolutely brilliant. You know what I also like is the look in the rearview mirror. The wing is so high that I actually look underneath it.
Yeah.
You don't see the rear wing in your rearview mirror. I love how without even having to drive that fast, this car makes such a ludicrous sound.
Yeah, it's pops and crackles.
Shouty, angry brute.
Followed through with the SV, but I think this makes more noise than an Aventador SV.
It's a sharper sound. Cause I guess it's a screamy V10 rather than a lazier V12. The Aventador engine is wonderful, 6.5 litre NA V12, but this is.
Gosh.
Everybody knows you're coming in here.
Yeah. We've woken up the neighbourhood. Fortunately, it's 2 PM in the afternoon.
Yeah, so hopefully nobody's asleep. But the big shift paddles are really, really nice to pull in this car. It's things like that just feels awesome. Squeeze out in front of that truck.
Now we've got a nice flat patch.
Over a bump, lift system up. Probably don't need it there, but we'll do it anyway. And back down. I tell you what, my initial impressions of the Performante in this environment are that it is a very easy car to use, and it is actually quite entertaining at sensible speeds. You know, driving like this, the noises and the shifts, and just the feel of it is pure entertainment. It's drama, and that's what a supercar sometimes should be. From a driving perspective, it doesn't feel hugely involved. The steering's a little bit, I don't know, not quite the right feel. There's some funny behaviour in the throttle pedals and brake pedals as well. I'm sure it's very, very fast on track, as you know, it's broken Nürburgring records, right?
Yeah.
It's a very, very, very quick thing, but
Until the GT2 RS beat it.
true. Until the GT2 RS.
Which, in fact... Oh.
What were you saying? Sorry?
Nothing.
No, but I mean, it's largely when it comes to that kind of thing, who was on the better day and different driver and that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, it does. So that's in sport mode.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a bit smoother on the gearbox, isn't it? It doesn't quite
I've noticed a difference.
kick you in the back in the same way.
Yeah, between sport and Corsa. And just strata mode. I wouldn't be able to drive this car in strata mode.
So back in Strada, doesn't that sound like it's a Golf?
Yeah, it does. It's so quiet. It just muffled that sound, that obnoxious Lamborghini sound.
Obviously, the Aventador S onwards has the new Ego mode, the mode you can program, and you can choose your settings, the variable elements, the steering, the suspension, the exhaust noise, the throttle response. But here, you're all limited to their factory configured specs. You don't have the option like you do in many other cars to
3 settings. That's
to go through.
And there's no option where you can press a button to have it in Corsa mode, but with strata suspension.
No.
Okay, that's only in Ferraris and Porsches.
And the Aventador S does, so you can assume that future models from Lamborghini will, but unfortunately not in here.
The Huracan Performante just missed out.
Yeah, just sport mode seems to be the win though. The right middle ground to be in. And then you just downshift to first and you get the crackles.
What about grip?
Well, from what I can feel, it's actually better than I first obviously we can't push on too hard. We're in the city here, not out on the countryside lane, but reports from the track are good. I mean, we know it's incredibly fast. The steering is quite light, but that fits with, I suppose, this kind of usage. Just not doing that so much. Just up through the revs in first gear, into second, back down to first. But that's probably how a lot of these cars get driven.
Yeah.
Down the centre of the city.
That's it, yeah, there's no place for it.
We just stopped for a bite to eat and have got back in the car, and these seats are savage.
Hard.
They are so firm. You can have the softer seats, as I think we said earlier, but I would struggle to live with these.
Yeah, definitely. Sitting on cafe seats and jumping into this, the cafe seats, they were timber, solid timber.
Yeah,
so much easier.
but they felt softer compared to these.
Yeah.
Anyway, we will roll back down the road towards Scuderia Graziani. But this has been quite an interesting drive so far. I quite enjoyed it, to be honest.
Beautiful.
Maybe it's just better being on the other side of the world.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a good cracker, wasn't it? Just that drop down to first gear.
Yeah, it's like a firecracker. Oh my gosh.
Why is it so lively now?
I don't know.
I'm not complaining.
No. It's been
Maybe it's
running
just
now.
rolling downhill.
Yeah.
And we're back in the showrooms. There are things I like about the Performante and things I don't, that is for sure. But Lee, come in. What do you think about it? What's your...
Well, it's all about the sound.
Yes.
To me.
100%. I'm in agreement with that. The Performante, the engine is glorious.
Yep.
The exhaust system is wonderful.
Pops and crackles galore.
But it needs, if you took the exhaust noise away from this car.
Yeah, because of the comfort as well, that takes away from it all.
Yeah.
You need that exhaust. We had so much fun. We popped, crackled through the tunnel, but that's all I could put it down to.
Yeah, for sure. So I think it's very much on the firm end. There are parts that feel almost a bit generic. If it wasn't banging away, you could be in any car.
Yeah, you think you're in a normal Huracan at times,
yeah. But looking at it, looks incredibly aggressive. I love what they did on that side of things, extending the front, ALA, the aerodynamic Lamborghini Attiva, obviously not driven it hard enough today to experience that, but looks with the wing, the tricolore stripe are all absolutely spot on. This configuration, Grigio Titans, I think it's called, is a lovely, lovely spec. And generally good things to say, just a bit too firm for me and a bit too reliant on the engine, although it has the engine, so that's 50-50. Anyway, enjoyed the drive an awful lot. So a big thanks to these guys, Scuderia Graziani. A big thanks also to Lee from Supercar Advocates. Thank you very much for arranging and making it possible. Guys, do go check out Lee's channel as well. I'll pop a link down below if you'd like to see some more of his videos with his cars and test drives and things out here in Sydney.
Yeah, and hypercars in Sydney.
Absolutely, absolutely, and an incredible amount of things there are too. Anyway, thank you very much. Thanks to the guys here. That's it for this time though, guys. I'll see you again very soon.
Cheers.
Cheers.